I just wanted to post a follow-up to my last video where I had the carburetor apart and the needle was all bent on the low needle was bent, which I took to mean that somebody had applied so much pressure to it that bending it ruined the seat. And so I think I said I had ordered an HL320A or an HL320 or something in the last video. It's an HS320A Tillotson. One thing about the Tillotsons, they're pretty well known for being able to tune them easy. A lot of people said that about karting with them back in the day and everything else, and so I got it installed on the 064, and it just runs perfectly, just absolutely perfect. This 044, I had several problems with. I had actually sold it. It came back. I didn't really sell it. I gave it to the guy to try. It just wasn't behaving. And both of these saws are rebuilt, top end, OEM piston and rings, new crank seals, gone through, pressure back tested, new fuel lines, impulse, intake boots checked, all that stuff. You know, all the stuff that's going to trip you up, all the small shit already checked out. Before I tried dealing with the carburetors on them. I couldn't get either carburetor to work. Like I said before on the 064, I could get it to work acceptably. I knew it wasn't exactly right, but somebody who doesn't know what right is supposed to be, they might have run that saw like that and just put up with its temperamental side, which these saws are not supposed to be temperamental. Once they're running correct, okay, and they're running correctly, everything is right. Everything is right. The only reason that a saw is going to be temperamental, especially an older saw, it has some kind of an air leak, a case leak, a base gasket leak. It's got some kind of thing. One of the bolts is broken. I saw one to Scott up north he's up north of me in Wisconsin. He had fixed an 066 that like all the cylinder bolts were loose. Yeah, I don't even know how in the hell that happens, you know, but they were like loose, like rattling out. It was insane. But yeah, I can tell you this from the experience that I have with saws, which is nowhere near a lot of other people's experience with them. But the experience that I've had, and especially with two-cycle stuff in general, a couple of dirt bikes that I've worked on, friends have had, stuff like that. In general, when you start having problems with them, they don't do what they're supposed to do. Most of the time, it's the carburetor. It just is. There's other stuff that can go wrong, absolutely, and certainly. The coils can go bad. They can have a weak coil. The problem with the weak coil is if the spark isn't strong enough at higher RPMs, the spark can actually get blown out at the spark plug. It can actually get to a point where it's not making the jump across the electrode of the plug because it doesn't have enough voltage. So anyways, anything can be wrong, sure. And of course, a lot of times it's a worn out piston, but those, most of the time, either they're going to run and they're going to start and run or they're not. When they get to a point where they're at 100 or less for compression, they're just, and they certainly won't work well. They're just not going to pull any kind of chain through any kind of substantial wood. But most of the time when you're running into problems, you're going to run into, it's the carburetor, and everything else is fairly easy to check. One thing that I did get recently is, most of you know I'm an auto mechanic, so off my Snap-on truck, I got this Thexton adjustable spark tester. So you can set how far you want the spark to jump. And all you have to do is plug this end into your spark plug boot, take your spark plug completely out so you can pull it over. This goes into the spark plug boot, and then the other end here is just an alligator clamp that clamps onto the cylinder to complete the circuit, and then you pull it over and you see how far that spark is going to jump, and you can adjust it. It's very, very, very nice. Very, very useful tool. But so the 044, I actually got a Walbro carb for it. It cost me $110. It's an HD15. This used to have the C3M Zama on it. Direct bolt-on, exact same thing. The linkages, everything hooked up exactly right. I actually had to send a little bit of fuel down the intake on this one because apparently that carburetor was sitting around for a little while, and it took a little while for the diaphragms to get pliable. But once it started running, it runs absolutely perfectly. So I don't have any doubt that all the problems that I was having with this, again, was related to the carburetor. And it kind of cost me a sale, but I'm going to put it up on Marketplace again. And the 044, I like the idea of it. I like the history behind them. I like that, people appreciate a really good 70cc saw. But in all honesty, and I'll take this up and I'll run it, I think, this week and do some more cutting with it with the new carburetor on it, just to make sure of my decision. But in all honesty, the 400 with the straight shot on it, running a 28-inch bar, full skip chain, it's just nicer to run. It really is. It's quicker. It's not as heavy. It feels better in the hand. The anti-vibe is actually, obviously better. It's a way newer saw. That's a 2023. This thing is a 97. So, just way newer updates in the AV and all that, This is still a really nice saw. This 044 is still a very, very nice saw. And I'm going to see exactly how it does this week, but that'll more than likely be up for sale again on Marketplace. 25-inch light bar, 25-inch skip chain. I run skip chain on pretty much everything I've got except my 261. So it'll come with the max flow filter. I'll clean those filters and send those along and all that kind of stuff. I put the lizard skin wrap on it just for a little bit of grippiness, and it's nicer, in my opinion. I pretty much grip everything that I've got. So anyway, yeah, the carburetors were the issue. The HS320, again, I got it for $60. It was like $64 to my door. The Tillotson, the HS320A, direct bolt-on. Again, same thing. And then I saw that they actually had one for the 044 as well. So I could have saved half the money. I could have saved $50, on the deal and just put a Tillotson on it. But yeah, it's all right. As long as it's good. I won't get my money back out of this saw. I'm just too far into it. I'm too far along. I'm just not going to get my money back out of it. Ain't no way, shape, or form. So we'll see. As long as it runs good and somebody likes it, and it's set to go for another 20 years, hey, I'm all good with it. I'm a hobbyist, and not many people make money at their hobbies. So, I'm one of those people. So, anyways, yeah, if you're fighting with something, I understand that not everybody wants to buy even a $50 or $60 carburetor. Certainly, absolutely, in no way, shape, or form, ever, for any reason. And I know people do it. I know that some people had success with the HIPAA carbs and the Chinese carbs and stuff like that. But if you want a one and done, don't fuck away your money, okay? With the possibility you're going to have to buy again, and you're going to have to buy the right one this time. Maybe you can return that cheap one that you bought. Don't get the $14 carburetor. Buy a quality carburetor. Your saw will like you for it. You'll have a lot less issues if you just do it once and be done. There was one that Married with Children had. Tyler up there had it was either on Married with Children channel or the Tyler show. He had one where the nozzle valve wasn't situated correctly in the body of the carburetor, and I forget what it was. He wasn't getting any fuel through it. Thing was running super lean. I forget what the deal was, but yeah, it wasn't set correctly in the bore, so that the channel on the nozzle valve lined up with the feed in the carburetor body. This is what you're going to get. There's just no quality control. It's all somebody banging shit together as fast as they possibly can, and this is what they have to do to make money at selling a carburetor, $14. That's just the world we live in now. The opportunity is there. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It's not worth blowing up your saw over or having to buy again. And the frustration of it, especially if you have to get something going and you have to use it. Just buy it once and be done. So, anyways, I think I think the seller's name was Gropek, Gropek, that had the Tillotsons for sale, and had them for sale for several models. So I don't know if they were all steel or they had other brand that they had them available for, but um, yeah, I've got no problem with the Tillotson whatsoever. Like I said before, I've run them before and they work fine. So anyway, yeah, look at the carburetor. You got problems? Look at the carburetor. That's all I got to say. All right, happy sawing.